I honestly can't believe we actually pulled it off.
You deserve all the credit, Dr. Bennett.
Kayla, congratulations.
Cole? What are you doing here?
I flew back. For you.
Don't act sweet. You heard about my offer, my salary. The second I made it big, you crawled out of the jungle with your discount flowers.
We spent 7 years building toward this. You said you loved me. We were supposed to get married. But I loved her.
Loved you? My daughter has a PhD, pulling $30 million a year. And you, a builder in Africa. Are you really worthy?
I was running a charity.
A charity? Is that what we're calling unemployed now?
The plane was quiet. Cole Hendrix sat by the window, watching the clouds roll by like slow gray waves. He wore a plain shirt. No watch, no rings. Nothing that whispered rich or powerful. Nothing that hinted at what he really was. A voice buzzed low in his earpiece. "Sir, your ex just got her PhD," Trevor said. "We booked her a partner job at Vostech. Her party starts the moment you land." "Good," Cole said. "Anything else?" "Harper Voss has been quietly asking for a meeting. She wants an investment from Apex Group. Send me the deck." Cole closed his eyes. He hadn't seen Kayla in 5 years. 5 years of dirt roads, wells, and kids who had nothing. 5 years of silence he never explained. Tonight, he was finally coming home to marry her. A hand knocked into a button by accident, and a flight attendant hurried over. "Oh, sorry," said the woman sitting beside him. "First time in first class." Cole smiled a little. "I'm used to something different." She laughed, not knowing what that meant. "I'm Harper," she said, holding out her hand. Cole froze just for a second. The Harper, the CEO he was supposed to meet, sitting right beside him on a plane with no idea who he was. Harper leaned closer, lowering her voice. "This might sound completely insane," she said, "but I need a favor." "What kind of favor?" "I'm the CEO of Vostech. 5 properties, 2 private estates, $1 billion a year, and I need a husband. A fake one, just for a year." Cole almost laughed. "You're serious right now?" "Dead serious. 100,000 a month. A waterfront condo in your name. Google me, no scandals, no addictions, nothing shady. Just say yes." "Tempting," Cole said. "But you picked the wrong man. I'm already taken. I'm flying home to get married tonight." Harper's face fell for a second. "Oh, I did not see that coming." She sighed and looked out the window. "Guess I have to suck it up." But Cole wasn't done being kind. He glanced at her laptop screen. A pitch deck, glowing on the tray table, numbers stacked in neat little boxes. "Your pitch is weak," he said. "Excuse me? You're asking Apex Group for $100 million. That's already a huge number. Ask for $100 billion. Harper blinked. "What?" Before she could stop him, Cole leaned over, typed fast, and hit send. "You did not just do that," Harper hissed, grabbing her laptop. "Tell me you did not just send that. I saved your pitch. You ruined it. Do you have any idea what you just did?" A flight attendant peeked over, worried. "Ma'am, is everything all right?" Harper forced a smile. "We're fine. He just got me $100 billion. I'm a little emotional." "Congratulations," the attendant said, confused, and walked away. "You hijacked my life's work," Harper snapped at Cole once they were alone again. "You were underselling yourself," Cole said simply. $100 million is an insult to a group like Apex. $100 billion. That's where the real conversation starts. "You're the single most infuriating man I have ever met in my entire life. Lucky we're not really getting married, huh?" She had absolutely no idea how wrong that sentence would turn out to be. 5 years. That's how long Cole had been gone. Building shelters, digging wells, feeding kids who had never seen a warm meal. Far, far away from boardrooms and bank accounts and everything he used to control. Now he was landing to marry Kayla Bennett, the girl he had loved since college. The girl whose tuition he paid, whose rent he covered, whose whole climb to the top he had quietly funded for 7 straight years, without ever once asking for credit. He didn't call ahead. He wanted to surprise her. He should have called first. The party was already loud when Cole arrived. Gold lights, towers of champagne. A giant banner stretched across the ceiling. Congratulations, Dr. Bennett, Voss tech partner. Kayla stood in the middle of it all, glowing in a silver dress, laughing with strangers Cole didn't recognize. Kayla, Cole said, smiling. Congratulations. Her smile vanished instantly. Cole, what are you doing here? I flew back. For you. Don't act sweet, she snapped. You heard about my offer. My salary. The second I made it big. You crawled out of the jungle with your discount flowers. That's not fair. We spent 7 years building toward this. You said you loved me. We were supposed to get married. Kayla's mother, Denise, stepped between them like a wall. Loved you? My daughter has a PhD. She's the youngest partner in Voss tech history, pulling 30 million a year. And you? You vanished to Africa to work as a builder. Do you really think that makes you worthy of her? I was running a charity. A charity? Denise scoffed, loud enough for the whole room to hear. Is that what we're calling unemployed now? Laughter rippled through the crowd. Cole felt the floor tilt beneath him, but he didn't move, didn't flinch. You want to know why Voss Tech gave you that offer? Cole said quietly just to Kayla. Because someone vouched for you. Someone they would never dare ignore. Kayla laughed in his face. And that was you? Please, stop embarrassing yourself. Before Cole could answer, Trevor's voice crackled sharp in his ear. Sir, Apex Group just approved it. $100 billion. Direct investment into Voss Tech. Cole's jaw tightened. He said nothing out loud. Across the room, near the entrance, Harper Voss stared at her phone in total shock. Asterisk $100 billion. He was right. He was actually right. Asterisk. She turned to her assistant. Find him, she said. The man from the flight. I don't care what it takes. Find who, exactly? I've never met a man like him before, Harper said. He's the one I want. She had no idea he was standing 40 feet away from her, getting torn apart by the woman he came home to marry. Kayla's new boyfriend arrived just then, all confidence and expensive cologne. Jackson Riley, son of the vice chairman of Voss Tech, next in line for everything that mattered. So you're the ex, Jackson said, circling Cole slowly. Cheap suit, basic face, still hanging around like yesterday's trash. Careful, Cole said, calm as still water. Or what? Jackson laughed, turning to the crowd. This is a party for the elite, not for beggars who dig ditches for a living. Get him out, Denise snapped. Security. I have every right to be here, Cole said. You have no rights here, Jackson said. Not even Harper Voss herself could save you now. Little did Jackson know, Harper Voss was already walking through the front doors, and she had heard every word. Kayla wasn't finished. She reached up, yanked off the necklace Cole had given her, and hurled it onto the marble floor. You want to know my biggest mistake? She said. Believing in you. 7 years of your fake promises, and this is what you gave me. It's probably fake too, just like you. That necklace cost $2 million, Cole said quietly. The room burst into laughter. Sure it did, Jackson smirked, pulling out his wallet. Here's 500 grand, buddy. Take it and vanish. That's more than you'll see in 10 lifetimes. Be smart. Cole looked at the money, then at Kayla, then slowly around the room full of people who had already decided who he was. You talk a lot about power, Cole said. But when you learn who I really am, you'll be the one begging for mercy. Then say it, Jackson challenged, grinning. Make your big announcement, nobody. Cole opened his mouth to speak, and that's when Harper Voss walked in. Every head in the room turned at once. Denise gasped. Lady Voss? She's here? For my daughter's party. Harper's eyes swept across the crowd, until they landed on Cole. Her whole expression changed in an instant. There you are, she said, striding straight toward him, ignoring everyone else in the room. I have been looking everywhere for you. Kayla stared, stunned. You know her? Know him? Harper looped her arm through Cole's. Chin lifted. He's my husband. Gasps rolled through the crowd like a wave crashing on rocks. What? Kayla's voice cracked in half. Jackson's smug grin crumbled instantly. That's impossible. Harper Voss doesn't date anyone. She's never even been seen with a man in public. She just was, Cole said quietly. With me. Nobody in that room saw this coming. And it was about to get so much worse, for every single one of them except Cole. Denise recovered first, sneering. Oh please, this is an actress. Look at that dress. Total escort vibes. He probably paid her by the hour for tonight. Harper's eyes turned to ice. Excuse me? Don't be shy about it. Jackson's father, Derek, chuckled nervously, trying to smooth things over. Nice stunt. But a washed-up nobody hiring a fake wife to save face in public? That's just sad. Keep insulting her, Cole said, voice dropping low and dangerous. See how that works out for you. Harper turned to him, something unreadable flickering behind her eyes. Cole, tell them who you are. Silence. For the first time all night, Cole didn't smile. He looked at Kayla, the girl he'd loved for 7 years, who had just called him worthless in front of 100 strangers. And he said absolutely nothing. Sometimes silence hits harder than any speech ever could. Fine, Harper said, stepping forward, phone already in her hand. I'll tell them myself. She turned the screen toward the crowd. A photo filled the display. Cole, dressed in black, standing behind a podium marked Apex Group. This, Harper said, voice steady and sharp, is Cole Hendrix, chairman of Apex Group, the company that just handed Voss Tech $100 billion tonight. The company every person in this room has been quietly begging to notice them for years. The room didn't just go quiet. It went dead. Denise's champagne glass slipped from her fingers and shattered on the marble. That's not possible, she whispered. He builds huts in Africa. He's a nobody. He built an empire, Harper said, quietly, while all of you called him worthless to his face. Kayla's knees buckled. She grabbed a nearby chair to keep from falling. Cole, you never told me. Why didn't you ever tell me? You never asked, Cole said. You just assumed, and then you decided. Jackson tried to laugh it off, but his voice shook. Even if that's true, so what? You still got dumped tonight. Cole turned to him, still calm, still steady. Your father's company survives right now because of my money. One phone call and Apex Group pulls every single dollar out. Voss Tech collapses by morning. Your family's name means nothing without my signature on it. Derek went pale as paper. Now, Mr. Hendrix, let's not be hasty about this. Too late, Cole said. You should have thought about that before your son called my wife a hooker in front of 100 people. She's not really your wife. Kayla shouted, desperate, tears cutting down her face. This is fake. You said it yourself on the plane. I heard him say it. Harper looked at Cole. Cole looked back at her. This was the moment. The one where nothing could ever be undone again. Actually, Cole said slowly, I'd like to change that. He turned fully to Harper, ignoring everyone else in the room. Marry me. For real this time. The room gasped again, louder than before. Harper searched his face carefully. Cole, you don't have to do this. I know, he said. I want to. Kayla lunged forward, sobbing now. Cole, please wait. I made a mistake. I didn't know who you really were. If I had known. That's exactly the problem, Cole said quietly. You needed to know my bank account before you could see my heart. Harper never needed either one. She just needed a man who would fix her pitch deck and mean every word of it. He turned away from Kayla for the very last time. No shouting. No speech about revenge. Just his back, walking calmly toward the one person in the entire building who had never once asked what he was worth. Kayla screamed his name across the room. He didn't turn around. He didn't even slow down. Some doors, once they finally close, stay closed forever. 3 months later, headlines covered every screen in the country. Mystery chairman of Apex Group revealed as Harper Voss's husband. Voss tech stock soars overnight. Kayla lost her partner position within weeks. It turned out half of her genius resume had quietly been built on Cole's money and Cole's connections. Connections that vanished the second he walked away. Jackson's father was forced out of Voss Tech before the year ended. Once the board discovered exactly who controlled their newest, biggest investor. Denise still tells people at parties that her daughter almost married a billionaire chairman. She always leaves out the part where she called him a lost cause and had security try to drag him out of a building he technically now owned a piece of. Harper found Cole on the balcony one quiet night, staring out at the city lights blinking below them. "Regret it?" she asked softly. "Choosing me? Out of everyone?" "No," Cole said. "I regret something else entirely." "What's that?" "That I let her make me feel small for 5 whole years. Long before I ever needed $100 billion just to prove to a room full of strangers that I wasn't." Harper slipped her hand into his. Nothing else needed saying. Because the loudest room in the world had once called him nothing. And it only took one quiet sentence to remind them all exactly what nothing was worth.